It's too late.
It's too late.
It's too late.
They told you it's too late, that after 60, the body just gives up. That muscle loss is as inevitable as gray hair, wrinkles, and slowing down. But here's the uncomfortable truth they don't want you to know. Muscle loss after 60 isn't about age. It's about decisions. While everyone else accepts weakness as their destiny, a small group of people are doing the opposite. They're rebuilding their bodies, reclaiming strength they thought was gone forever, and moving through their 60s, 70s, and beyond with the vitality most 40-year-olds don't even have. The difference isn't genetics, expensive supplements, or hours in the gym. It's 5 simple steps, strategies so straightforward that most people overlook them completely, yet so powerful they can reverse years of decline in just months. What if everything you've been told about aging and muscle is wrong? What if the weakness, the fatigue, the feeling of falling apart isn't inevitable at all, but reversible? Keep watching, because what you're about to learn will challenge everything you thought you knew about your body after 60. After 60, the body whispers a quiet truth most people refuse to hear. Muscles don't vanish because of age. They fade because of neglect. Resistance training isn't just exercise. It's a rebellion against the myth that weakness is inevitable. When someone picks up a dumbbell, wraps a resistance band around their legs, or lowers into a squat using only their body weight, they're sending a direct message to every cell. We're not done yet. 2 to 4 sessions a week. That's the minimum investment required to rewrite the script their body's been following for years. The magic lives in the movements themselves. Squats that build the legs back into pillars of stability. Push-ups that restore the chest and shoulders. Rows that pull strength back into the upper body. Deadlifts that teach the entire posterior chain to fire in harmony again. Progressive overload becomes a secret language. Adding 5 more pounds to the bar every couple of weeks, squeezing out 2 extra reps, or increasing resistance band tension until the muscles burn with that familiar, purposeful ache. A gym membership isn't required, just tension. The kind of deliberate discomfort that forces adaptation, paired with the willingness to show up consistently and push beyond what felt impossible yesterday. The fitness world loves selling excitement, new workouts, fresh routines, the latest revolutionary method that promises faster results. But here's what they won't tell you. Constantly switching exercises doesn't accelerate muscle growth. It sabotages it. Muscles don't respond to novelty. They respond to repeated, escalating demand. When someone jumps from one workout to another every week, they're essentially starting from scratch each time, never giving their nervous system the chance to master the movement patterns that actually trigger adaptation. The body needs familiarity to build efficiency, and efficiency is what allows it to lift heavier, push harder, and grow stronger. Sticking with 5 to 8 core exercises for 8 to 12 weeks might sound boring, but that's precisely where the transformation happens. Progressive overload, the gradual increase that forces muscles to adapt, works through a simple, powerful cycle. Start with a weight that allows for 8 solid repetitions, then work consistently to build up to 12 reps with that same weight. Once 12 reps feel comfortable, it's time to increase the load. This naturally drops the rep count back down to 6 or 8, and the process begins again. Picture someone bench pressing with 20-pound dumbbells, grinding through 8 reps in week 1, smoothly completing 12 by week 4, then bumping up to 25 pounds and starting the climb all over again. This systematic approach creates real measurable strength, not the scattered progress that comes from chasing novelty every Monday morning. After 60, muscles develop a peculiar kind of stubbornness. They stop responding to protein the way they used to, a phenomenon scientists call anabolic resistance. It's as if the body's building crew shows up to the construction site, but works at half speed unless they're given extra materials and clear instructions. This means the protein requirements aren't just recommendations anymore. They become non-negotiables for anyone serious about maintaining or building muscle tissue. The target sits between 0.54 and 0.72 grams per pound of body weight daily. So someone weighing 180 pounds needs roughly 97 to 130 grams spread throughout the day, not loaded into one massive dinner that the body can't fully process. The source matters just as much as the amount. Wild-caught salmon delivers complete amino acids along with omega-3s that fight inflammation. Pasture-raised eggs provide bioavailable protein that the body recognizes and uses efficiently. Grass-fed beef offers not just protein, but also creatine and iron that support muscle function. Greek yogurt packs protein alongside probiotics for gut health. Quality whey protein becomes the convenient backup when whole foods fall short. Spreading this across 3 to 4 meals, maybe eggs at breakfast, salmon at lunch, Greek yogurt as a snack, and beef at dinner, ensures the muscles receive a steady supply of raw materials throughout the day. Protein isn't just fuel to burn. It's the actual substance the body uses to rebuild stronger, leaner tissue every single night, while sleep does its quiet, powerful work. Morning sunlight might be the most underestimated tool in the muscle-building arsenal. A free, powerful signal that most people over 60 completely ignore. Within the first hour of waking up, stepping outside for 10 to 15 minutes without sunglasses does something remarkable. It resets the body's internal clock, that ancient circadian rhythm that governs everything from sleep quality to hormone production. This isn't about getting a tan or soaking up rays for hours. It's about exposing the eyes and skin to natural light at the precise moment when the body's chemistry is most receptive. For those who can't step outside, even standing by an open window and letting natural light hit the face helps trigger this response, though direct outdoor exposure works best. Pairing that sunlight exposure with a short walk amplifies the effect even further. Picture someone stepping onto their front porch at 7 a.m., coffee in hand, taking a 15-minute stroll around the block while the sun climbs higher. No headphones, no sunglasses blocking the light from reaching the eyes. Just movement and natural illumination working together. Sunlight becomes nature's anabolic signal, a message broadcast directly to every cell. It's time to build, recover, and perform. While others sleep in or rush straight from bed to artificial light and screens, this simple morning ritual costs nothing but delivers returns that no supplement bottle can match. Cardio carries a bad reputation in the muscle-building world. Most people assume it's the enemy, something that steals gains and burns through hard-earned tissue. But done strategically, cardiovascular work actually becomes an ally after 60, especially when approached with precision instead of excess. Short, moderate sessions, 15 to 20 minutes, 3 times per week, improve blood flow in ways that directly support muscle growth. Better circulation means more oxygen and nutrients reaching muscle fibers exactly when they need it most. Faster recovery between training sessions, less inflammation lingering in the joints, and more efficient removal of metabolic waste that builds up during resistance work. The key lies in keeping the heart rate at 60 to 70% of maximum. A brisk walk, light cycling, or easy swimming, where conversation still flows naturally. Timing matters just as much as intensity. Doing cardio right after strength training or on completely separate days ensures it doesn't interfere with the body's ability to build muscle. Picture someone finishing their squats and deadlifts on Monday, then taking a 15-minute walk around the neighborhood while their muscles are still warm. The increased blood flow accelerates nutrient delivery without competing for recovery resources. Or they save cardio for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, leaving Monday, Thursday, and Saturday dedicated purely to resistance work. The dose determines whether cardio helps or hurts. Too much becomes a thief, stealing energy and resources the body needs for growth. The right amount enhances circulation, supports heart health, and creates the ideal internal environment for muscles to repair themselves stronger than before. So here's the real question. What are you going to do with this knowledge? Are you going to let it collect dust? Or are you actually going to pick up that weight, step into the sunlight, and prove your body still responds? How much longer will you accept weakness as normal when you now know it's a choice? The body you want isn't built by people who wait for the perfect moment. It's built by those who decide right now that they're done settling. Subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell because we're just getting started and the next video might be the one that changes everything.